after the return of Constable Musia, after I had requested him to come back with the master copy. He came back with additional photos. He came back with additional photos which support the version of Mthokozi Sithwala to the effect that at the time of this incident on the 26th of October, a cell phone belonging to Kelly Khumalo was on a charger on the stand. And the phone on the photos which were brought by Musia is on the stand. So my worry is if any investigation were conducted thereafter.
I see. Yeah, you have to argue that point, but how do you define a phone? If you quote the EMIE number, you quote even the cell phone number, which is more definitive, according to you? You don't know.
To me, my lord, the concern that I'm raising.
You are just saying the phone is light in white. It was white, and it was an SM250. What SM Samsung?
S4.
Yeah.
Samsung S4 cell phone.
That's all. That's the description you give.
Yes.
And then Mr. Baloyi says Pinky Bellingham actually sets that phone in terms of J1 was located towards about 6.2 kilometers towards the hostel. That's where it was.
My concern was with regards to the investigations that were not conducted.
Okay, fine. You'll have to argue that. Yes, sir.
See that, Mr. Mapisa says.
Zandile or Kelly Khumalo, do they mention this phone? Or the mother to Kelly?
Ms. Zandile Khumalo did testify about the phone.
Yeah.
That her mother had it in her hands when the first robber came in,
Yeah.
and that the first robber then bumped her mother off and took possession of the cell phone and,
Yes.
and left with it.
That's the evidence.
Yes, that is the evidence.
All right, yes, sir.
Brigadier, one of the factors that you further alluded to was the fact that in relation to the AVL of the motor vehicle which was said to be used by Long Wetshana. Do you confirm that?
I can't hear. Can you speak a bit?
Yes. One of the factors that you took into account was the issue of the AVL, the records of the VW Polo,
Okay.
the red Polo,
Oh, yeah.
that Mr. Long Wetshana
Okay.
was traveling in.
For the seat, Brigadier, addressing on the oath.
Yes, my lord, indeed. Yes, that is correct, my lord.
Yebo ke okunye ngikhulumile ngakho ke umbiko loyana ke wokuhamba kwemoto maphecelezi ke iAVL yemoto yakhe uLong Wetshana
Yeah, do you know if Longwe Twala is going to testify or not?
No, my lord, I think that prerogative, Advocate Baloyi is best vested, I think, with that answer, my lord.
U-advocate Baloyi uyena-ke osengakuphendula-ke lokho ukuthi-ke uLongwe Thwala uzoza azokuthi kubufakazi noma cha.
But your colleague, Mr. Gomezulu, said he's going to call Longwe. You remember that?
No, I remember that. I just wanted to ascertain from the state if,
From the state.
yeah, if they are going to call Longwe Twala. So he says it's up to the state council.
Yeah, Mr. Gininda, Brigadier Gininda has systematically said the DPP, after he handed over the docket of the investigation to him, he decides who to charge, how to charge, who to call as
and not to
witnesses.
call.
He's out of it. He doesn't have an influence on who is called as a witness. At least that's what you say, sir.
Indeed, that's what I've said, my lord.
Yebo ngishilo-ke ngempela ukuthi-ke emuva kokuthi idokodo sesandlulisela-ke kwi-NPA ibona-ke bathatha isinqumo sokuthi babiza abani ababathwesa amacala nakanjani akukho kumina lokho.
Do you confirm, Brigadier, that there is no viva voce evidence from Longwe Twala about the events of the 26th of October in relation to this motor vehicle?
Well, I suppose you mean in this court, is the question
in
that he
this court.
didn't testify yet? Is that the question?
Yes.
Well, I know he hasn't testified, my lord.
Ngiyazi-ke uLongwe Thwala ukuthi-ke akakathuli ubufakazi la enkantolo.
And the evidence that we have in relation to the movement of the said motor vehicle in which it is said that Longwe Twala was using is in a form of documentary evidence, in the form of a document, the AVL.
Yes, but my understanding, my lord, warrant officer Pretorius, the person who actually made a statement and made that AVL testify to that effect, my lord.
Ngabe kuyiqiniso-ke yini ukuthi ubufakazi kuphela esinabo-ke yiloko okubhalwe phansi-ke ukuthi yayihamba kuphi-ke leyo moto, kodwa-ke ngiyazi ukuthi-ke u-warrant officer Pretorius okuyena-ke wenza-ke statement mayela noma-ke umbiko mayelana naleyo moto uzile-ke la enkantolo ezokuthula ubufakazi.
You also mentioned one of the factors as being that of witnesses, not witnesses who were in the house, but witnesses who were in the neighborhood. You confirm that?
I do confirm, my lord.
Ngiyaqinisekisa-ke nokuthi-ke ngikhulumile-ke nabona ngabofakazi kungasibona-ke ofakazi ababesendlini kodwa-ke omakhelwane.
In relation to the witnesses, you mentioned the witnesses from the Nache family. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I did. I did speak, I think, Kaya, and I also spoke about the senior, the warrant officer, the father, who then passed away, my lord.
Yebo-ke nabakwaNgqatshe ngikhulumile ngabo uKhaya kanye-ke nobaba wakhe osewashona.
On the 17th of October 2014, at page 29 of the record, you stated the following at line 22, Mr. Gininda. And then, my lord, in their statement, it was clear they saw people running out, my lord, so there was a clear, if you read the statement in essence, that people were seen running out during the commotion of the shooting. From the crime scene, close quotation.
I'm listening, my lord.
Is that what you said?
Well, the record speaks for itself, my lord. I think
Yes.
the record was just read to me.
Lokho okufundwayo-ke kumina-ke yilokho okwenzeka la enkantolo ukuthi yebo kuyasho-ke noma-ke isholo-ke ukuthi-ke wabona-ke abantu bephuma lapho-ke begijima noma bebaleka uma lapho izigameko noma kwakunokudlula khona.
I've got three statements, Brigadier, from the Nache family. It is a statement of Leslie Msebenyo Nache, Kaya Stella Ngache, and the last one, Bulelani Ngache. Amongst these three witnesses, which one of them says that they saw people running out from the Kumalo homestead where the shooting incident had occurred?
My Lord, but what was read to me doesn't say the statement is confined to the Ngaches. That's not what the record that was read to me is saying. It refers to the neighbors, the people other than the people who were inside the house. And I did deal with this aspect of Makaleni, where I specifically indicated that he said he saw 3 individuals running away from Makumalo's house, and one of them was armed with a firearm.
Lokho qeda kufunda kumina ke bengakhulumi ke ngabakwaNgcatshe bekufunda ukuthi ke sithini noma irecord lithini kodwa ngikhulumile ngayo Makeleni owasho ukuthi wabona abantu abathathu bephuma ke kwaMakhumalo oyedwa kubona ke wayephethe isibhamu.
And he forms part of the witnesses who were not inside the house, my Lord. In other words, in addition to the Ngases, he is one of the witnesses who dispose affidavit in addition to others as well.
Omunye ke walabo ababengekho ke endlini ke manje kuma sikhuluma ngoNgcatshe naye kuMakeleni usungamfaka ke naye ke lapho kulabo abenza istatement.
At line 10 of the proceedings of the 17th of October 2024, at page 29, the following was asked by my colleague, Advocate Baloyi. Mr. Baloyi, yes, one of the members from the family of Ngache, Kaya Ngache, has testified as a witness in this matter. Mr. Kininda, yes. Mr. Baloyi, does the name ring the bell? Mr. Kininda, yes, it does. It does. He was one of the family members in that, the neighbors to the crime scene. Mr. Baloyi, yes, I'm just repeating now what I've read to you earlier. Mr. Kininda, and my Lord, in their statement, it is clear that they saw people running out, my Lord. So there was a clear, if you read the statement, in essence, that people were seen running out during the commotion of the shooting from the crime scene.
Yeah, my Lord, but I'm not, I think it's misunderstood. I'm not referring, remember I was analyzing the reasons that convinced me that they were intruders. So I was talking in totality of witnesses other than the ones that were in the house. That is why when specific questions were asked, and I think I was asking this court, who amongst the people who actually specifically made a statement of seeing the intruders running out of the house, and then I referred specifically to say this is the person and where the statement is in the docket. So it was a total analysis. I was summing up, my Lord, the witness in essence, that you have this correlation of people who were not inside the house but indicating from different angles. I even referred to Ntabiseng who was sitting outside. I referred to Makaleni. I referred to the friend of Ntabiseng attached to correctional services and other people, my Lord, collectively to say, if you take this into account, I had no reason to believe that these neighbors will have a reason to mislead that they saw intruders. So it was in totality, my Lord, not in relation to the Ngases, because I was informed by the totality of independent witnesses other than those who were inside the house.
Ngaphandle kwabantu ababengaphakathi endlini ke uma sobheka ke omakhelwane ke bonke laba sebebaliwe oNgcatshe, oMakeleni, uNthabiseng kanye futhi ke nomngane wakhe ke ngathatha konke lokho ngakuhlanganisa ukuthi ke labantu abanaso ke izathu esingenza ukuthi ke baqamba amanga noma bakhohliseke ukuthi ke ngempela bakhona noma babekhona abantu abangena endlini uma njalo ngoba besho ukuthi bakhona abantu ababona bephuma lapho begijima.
Maybe I should ask this question differently. From the Ngache family, Brigadier, is there a witness who says he saw people running out from the Kumalo homestead after the shooting incident?
No, I don't have a recollection, my Lord. What I recall, as I've said, the statement that I testified about, and I was specific what it says, even the paragraph, is the one of Makaleni. And I was very specific that he says from the Makumalo's house. And he saw 3 intruders, one was armed with a firearm. That was specific. That is the closest statement of a witness who witnessed the intruders running directly from the Makumalo's house, one armed with a firearm.
Ingabe khona yini kwaba kwaNgqatshe oshoyo ukuthi wabona abantu noma umuntu ephuma kwamakhumalo? Cha, kodwa ke esondele kuleso ke ngishilo ngikhulumile ngaso uMakeleni oshilo ukuthi wabona abantu abathathu bephuma khona lapha, omunye wabo ephethe isibhamu kwamakhumalo.
And on page 30 of the record of the 17th of October 2024, that is now in relation to Nthabiseng Mokete. The following is said at line 10 of the record. I do recall that in parts of that statement, it is clearly mentioned that perpetrators were seen running out from the direction of Kelly Kumalo's house to the direction of the park. It was the second witnesses, my lord. There were two. I do remember that it is two females and both of them witnessed people running out of that house to the direction of the park.
Sorry, I say two females.
Yes. May I
What the
repeat it, my
record
lord?
says.
Yes, may I repeat it, my lord? Yes.
Yeah, just repeat it.
It was two witnesses,
Yeah.
my lord. There were two. I do remember that it is two females and both of them witnessed people running out of
I see.
that house
Okay.
to the direction of the park.
Yeah, meaning Tabiseng and his friend.
And his friend, yes.
Right.
What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, but my lord,
Running out
no.
of
you have-
that house
No,
to
but
the direction of the house. I'm reading from the record.
yeah, but you can't ignore the top part that says the direction of the Makumalos, because it was clear that I was referring to the direction, and then it continues to what to that aspect, my lord. One will have to look at the statement of Nthabiseng, but my recollection, my lord, it was the direction, not precisely the exact location. That is why I'm saying, my lord, when I was asked as to what witness specifically indicates seeing the intruders running from the house, I've placed that statement on record that it was Makaleni. I refer to the index number, and what he says specifically, my lord, he's the one that says he saw three intruders running out of Makumalo's house, one armed with a firearm.
Uma ukhuluma ke ngaye ke uNthabiseng ngoba mike ufakazi ngathi ke yena ke wakhuluma ngabantu ababona ke besuka ngakuhlangothi lemuzwa kwamakhumalo, kodwa ke ukuthi ke ubani owabona abantu bephuma kwamakhumalo ngikhulumile ngaye ke uMakeleni.
So where it says, I do understand, Brigadier, that I have to understand what is said in the top part. But what do you have to say about what you said in the last part of that paragraph?
But my lord, it flows from the top. I was referring to the direction. That's why I'm saying it's a continuation. That is why when the question was asked then specifically to say who amongst the witnesses who were outside the house saw the intruders running from the Makumalo's house, from the crime scene specifically, I answered specifically to say it is Makaleni, not the Ngashas, not Nthabiseng, specific to say it's Makaleni, what is the index number of the statement, and what he says exactly. So I answered that question specifically, my lord.
Umbuzo lona ke mala nokuthi ubani wabona abantu bephuma khona kwamakhumalo ngishilo ke ngikhulume ngayo uMakeleni, ungasibona bakwaNgqatshe, ungasibona uNthabiseng ukuthi uyena, ngase ngisho futhi nestatement ukuthi yiCP ke ukuthi uyena uMakeleni owasho ukuthi wabona abantu bephuma kwamakhumalo.
And I'm maintaining that position, my lord. That's what I said, my lord.
Ngisasho lokho ke namanje.
So what you are maintaining is that people were seen by these two witnesses, that is Yolanda Nota and Nthabiseng Mokete, of people running in the direction of the park, to the direction of the park, sorry.
Well, my lord, it's contained in the statement. If I have now to quote verbatim what they say, then I'll have to go through the statements. I do know, my lord, that after, and I testify about this, that they said after hearing a gunshot, and this is my recollection, they first saw the first suspect running to that direction. Then thereafter, that is my recollection, my lord, they saw, I think, two other more suspects. And this is where the identification of the dreadlocks up to the neck was actually identified. I dealt with this part of evidence, my lord, when I was being cross-examined by Advocate Mnisi, in terms of the dreadlocks, to say, first they saw the gunshot, first saw the first intruder, they described what they saw, or a person running towards the direction of the park. They had another gunshots, then they saw the two people, also male, running to the direction of the park, and they indicate that one of them had dreadlocks up to the neck. That is my recollection of what I've said, my lord.
Ukuthi ke ikuphi noma ke onthabiseng kanye ke enomngani wakhe ke nokuthi ngathini ke mina lana bashilo ukuthi saqhuma ke isibhamu kwaphuma ke umuntu bamchaza ke ukuthi kanjani saphinda futhi bakwaphuma ke ababili ila khona ke esezosho ukuthi omunye wayenama dreadlocks afinyelela khona lana ke entanyeni basho ke nokuthi uma begijima baya ngase park.
So it is not that these two witnesses saw people running out of that house to the direction of the park.
No, my lord, but that's what I've said, that I do not have that recollection. When I was asked, and I'm repeating it again, my lord, when I was asked in this court during cross-examination to indicate as to whether there is a witness who specifically says he saw witnesses coming out of the house, my response was in relation to the statement of Makaleni and from the Makumalo's house, my lord. That is a person I've indicated to.
Uma bengibuzwa ke lana ukuthi ukhona yini ufakazi oshilo ke ukuthi wabona abantu bephuma kwaMakhumalo ila khona engikhulume khona ke ngestatement noma ke ngokusho kwakhe uMakeleni ukuthi uyena ke othi wabona abantu bephuma lapho kwaMakhumalo.
Is it being denied that people ran out of Makumalo's house? Unknown people, intruders, is it being denied by your defense?
I think that is what I put earlier.
Yeah, because
in the
inferential
trial.
reasoning. Some witnesses, when they give evidence, they use inferential reasoning. The two police respondents, the first two police respondents, they say when they got to the streets, they were stopped by people who were indicating that they went down that way. Moroka and Tabiseng, they say these people who ran from wherever they ran to, they ran towards the park.
If you can remind me, Brigadier, the statement of the first police officers who attended the scene, you read a portion of the statement. Who was that police officer?
I recall that the two police officers is Mtetwa, I think the Constable Mtetwa and Matebula.
Matebula, sorry, yeah.
Mangikhumbula kahle ke kwakho umthetho noMathebula amaphoyisa okuqala ke ukufika lapha yana.
The statement that you read into the record, it is for which police officer? You remember you read the statement into the record of the police officers who attended the scene, the first police officer who came there.
No, that's not my recollection. I remember reading during the evidence in chief, my lord. I was led insofar as what the record of Constable Matebula says, as well as Mtetwa, my lord. That's what I recall. I don't think I was referred to a statement. I was referred to a record, and then certain portions were then read into the record, my lord.
Uma ngikhumbula ke uma bekumshushisi ke engitshela ukuthi yini eyakhulunywa ke la amaphoyisa bengikhomba kulona ke irecord akuthi kune statement esafunda sala amaphoyisa uMathebula kanye naye umthetho.
What are those police officers saying, Brigadier?
My lord, they testified. Like I said, part of their evidence was I was taking through them to correlate what report they received. They testified, and I read part of their records, my lord. So they were in this court.
Babe la kule nkantolo bethula ubufakazi ke la amaphoyisa la amabili umthetho kanye noMathebula.
You also testified, Brigadier, that you made an application to obtain, in terms of Section 205, to obtain the bank records. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do recall, my lord.
Yebo ke ngikhulumile noma ngifakazile ke futhi nango tholakala ke kwama statement asebhanki.
Why you had to make such an application in this matter? What was the purpose of that application?
Investigation and gathering of evidence, my lord.
Injongo ke kwaku ukuphenya ke nokuthola ubufakazi.
To investigate what?
My lord, I think it's self-explanatory in the statement that I disposed when I applied. The purpose of doing Section 205 when you investigate is to gather evidence. Evidence, obviously, that could place people where you want to place them, my lord, in terms of the location. So it was investigation and collection of evidence.
Nanjengoba ngisho-ke ukuthi kwakuwukuphenya nokuthola futhi-ke ubufakazi-ke ukuthi-ke utholeke ukuthi umuntu noma abantu-ke babekuphi-ke ngokumayelana nendawo.
But insofar as the ones, for example, at some stage, my lord, there's one that came, or that I did at the behest of accused numbers 2 legal representative, when it was requested from us, my lord, to say we should do the section 205 in relation to the date of the 27th of October 2014, because it was said accused 2 was in KwaNongoma. So some came at that request, but others then as part of investigation, my lord.
Okunyeke ngokumayelana nalo umsolo wesibili mayelana ne-27 zika-October 2014 ngoba-ke inkulumo yayithi-ke wayekwaNongoma, leso isicelo seza-ke ngommeli wakhe umsolwa wesibili, kodwa-ke okunye kwakumayelana nophenyo.
I do understand there is a different application in terms of section 205 of the CPA, but this one relates to the bank records. Why did you have to make an application to get the bank records from the bank, from the respective banks in relation to the accused?
Investigation, that's what I've said, my lord.
Ngishilo ukuthi isizathu noma injongo yokuthi-ke tholeke iy'tatimende zebhanki kwakuwuphenyo.
From your investigation, Brigadier, because you had testified that this was a contract killing, you confirm that, Brigadier?
Yes, I've testified that the evidence gathered, my lord, indicated that it was a contractual killing.
Ngishilo-ke mangethula ubufakazi ukuthi-ke uphenyo kanye futhi-ke uphenyo laveza-ke noma ladalula-ke ukuthi-ke lokubulala lokho kwawukubulala-ke okwahlelwa.
According to your investigations, Brigadier, how much was paid?
My lord, the amount that I can recall, for example, with accused number 2, he says he was given 15,000 first. That's accused number 2.
Okay.
Insofar, and you'll find it in Exhibit HA and JJ. And then subsequently, then he was given 30,000. So if you conclude that amount, it goes to 45,000. I think accused 1 also in his confession indicates the amount he received. I just don't know. I don't recall the exact numbers, my lord. But insofar as accused number 2, I do recall that it comes to a total of 45,000.
Umsolwa wesibili-ke yena-ke kwistatimende wasenza ukhulumile ukuthi okokuqala-ke mekhokhelwa wakhokhelwa u-15,000, kamuva-ke wasekhokhelwa u-30,000, umuhlanganisa-ke u-45,000. Naye umsolwa wokuqala naye-ke uyishile imali lapho kwistatimende sakhe, kodwa angisakhumbuli nje ukuthi wathi imalini.
And who paid these amounts? Do you know?
My lord, it's clear. It's indicated in Exhibit JJ. Accused 2 indicates who gave him the money. The balance was given by accused number 5, the 30,000 to accused number 2.
Uma ufunda laphana kwistatimende-ke kucacile bha khona lapho uyasho umsolwa wesibili ukuthi-ke ibalance noma leyo iyayisela imali u-30,000 umsolwa wesibili wawuthola kuyena umsolwa wesihlanu.
And who was the source of this amount, of the payment?
It was the accused, my lord, because I'm dealing with evidence. The accused paid the other accused. That's the evidence that we've got. But the indication is that the contractual or the sparking point is Ms. Kelly Khumalo.
Ngokobufakazi-ke ukuthi-ke abasolwa noma umsolwa owakhokhela-ke yena-ke umsolwa ngokusho kwakhe, kodwa-ke la ekwaqala khona-ke ukuthi yayibuya kuphi-ke Ms. Kelly Khumalo.
From the analysis of the bank records of the accused, sorry, may I rephrase the question? Other than the information that you got from the confession statements of accused number 2, is there any other evidence, independent evidence from the confession statements that Ms. Kelly Khumalo is the one who was paying these amounts?
My lord, if the question is asking me whether there is a link insofar as the money coming from Ms. Kelly Khumalo's account.
Yes, other than the confession statements, Brigadier, is there any other evidence available?
Yeah, but I want to understand in what form. Because if you say, is there any other evidence? Yes, we have witnesses, and I've indicated what is it that didn't match insofar as the linkages. So that's why I want to understand. Is the question referring to the chain of money, whether we have links from Ms. Kelly Kumalo to any of the accused, so that I answer you correctly. Is that the question?
Let me ask the question in the manner that you want me to ask it. Is there any chain of money from Ms. Kelly Kumalo to the accused?
No, not electronically, my lord. There's no electronic evidence. In other words, money being transferred from her bank accounts to the accused.
Abukho ke ubufakazi obutshengisayo ke noma ukuthi ke imali ke yabuya ke kwi-account yakhe uMs Kelly Khumalo ukuya kubona ke abasolo. Abukho lobo bufakazi.
So, what you are saying, Brigadier, in another way, from the bank records that you received from the respective banks, there was no evidence to suggest that there was any payment from Ms. Kelly Kumalo into the respective account.
Indeed, I agree, my lord, but there was also not such assertions. As I'm saying, the payments that we are aware of were made in cash. As to how they got to the accused, who pay other accused, we don't have that chain of electronic transfer. The money was paid in cash to the other accused by the accused themselves, my lord.
Ubufakazi sina esinabo ke ukuthi ke imali ke yakhokhwa abanye abasola bekhokhela abanye ukuthi yafika kanjani ke kubona ke labo ekuyibona abakhokha asinabo lobo ubufakazi.
Did my client, Mr. Mapisa, receive any payment according to your investigations? Is there any payment that you received?
Yeah, my lord, I think I'll have to come back to this one because I do know there may be one or two statements that I may want to verify that aspect before I respond correctly, my lord.
Ngaphambi kokuthi ngaphendula ke kulolo udaba lokuthi ngabe uMapisa wayithola yini ke yena imali ngafanele kukhona nje istatement esodwa noma embili ngiyibheke ngaphambi kokuthi ngiphendule.
Which statements are those so that I can also verify?
Well, you can go to the statement of Ndwandwe, for example. Ndwandwe.
What are the names? There are so many Ndwandwe.
No.
Statement is Ndwandwe.
No, there's not so many Ndwandwe. There's only one Ndwandwe in the entire docket. As much as these Asliva files are many, but there's one Ndwandwe. You will find this statement. So that's the one that I want to consult. And the other one that I want to look at, my lord, it's Simpwe Buthelezi. And because I'm referring to statements who implicates this accused specifically. And the other one that I would want to consult perhaps or to look at, it's Kwabeni Sifiso Zungu. So I just want to verify that aspect insofar as the money is concerned in relation to accused number 4 specifically.
Undwandwe, Usifiso, Kwabeni, Uzungu, Usimpiwe Buthelezi. Such that I mentioned before. Ibona ke ngifuna ukuthi ngibheke istatement zabo ke mayela nalona ke udaba lolo lokuthi ke uMapisa wayithola yini imali.
You want to do that now or later? Because it is part of my cross-examination.
Yeah, but my lord, it's 3 statements. So unless you want me to do it now, go through all of them.
My lord, what would be the court suggestion?
What do you suggest yourself?
May I request that we do it now? Yes, may I request that we do it now?
Fine.
All right.
Kwabeni, that is Fiso Zongo, Brigadier.
Yes, Kwabeni is Fiso Zungu.
Kwabeni Sfiso Zongo. In fact, his names are Sfiso Zongo. He's also known as Kwabeni. It's A149. Simpiwe, it's A158. You can do your own assignment with Atia, but according to what I've read, because I've read the statement of Sifiso Zungu, that is Kwabeni, there is no mention of the money, that is the transaction, in relation to accused number 4. I'm moving now to the other statement.
Yeah, but I've not finalized if it's Zungu or not. So,
No,
so
that is what I was
saying.
saying. According to me, I've read the statement.
Okay, but I'm still going through it, my lord. So, my lord, A149, this is now Kwabeni. Indeed, it does not mention the amount, but what it does say, and you can find it in paragraph 10, it goes on to paragraph 11, and paragraph 10, and I think paragraph 12. What it does say is that it puts in his communication with accused.
I'm sorry, my lord. Brigadier,
Can I finish, my lord?
Brigadier, please, it's in relation to the transaction, please.
Yes,
don't
but-
try to sieve some information from a
My lord,
statement
can
of
I
a
have an
person
opportunity to finish
who
the
has not
sentence?
testified.
No. I was asked a question, my lord, and I was referred to a statement that the statement does not mention the money. Now, I'm quoting what comes to the close. I don't know how to deal with this thing, because then I can't just agree with something that is not in the statement.
So
Because it was put to me that A49 Sifiso Zungu does not make reference. So I want to mention in the statement of Sifiso Zungu that it does implicate the accused and said they acted, all of them, together in the killing of Senzo Meiwa. We know that accused 1 and 2 received money. And he says all of them, they told him when he was talking to the accused that they were involved in the killing of Senzo Meiwa. And we know these two were paid. And he says all of them were together. And he places them in the hostel that he saw them, he was there on that day. So logic, my lord, will dictate that if the SAS assertion, how could it be when they say 5 acted in common purpose, they move together, this witness places them in the hostel, 2 will then get paid and 3 not get paid. It doesn't mention the amount, but it puts them together, and it is based on the private confession that was told to him by accused 2, my lord. And I think it make reference to accused 1 as well.
Lana ke kuyiqiniso ukuthi yena uGwabeni uSifiso Zungu akakhulumike ngemali ngoba umbuzo ubuthi ke ngabe khona yini la kusho khona ukuthi umsolo wesine wathola imali, kodwa ke akushoyo ukuthi yebo abasola nanjengoba abasolwa ke bobahlanu babekhona ukuthi babekhona ke ehostel bavuma ke kuyena ke nanjengoba umsolo wesibili wavuma ke kuyena ukuthi kwabe yingxenye babekhona ke uyasho ukuthi nabanye ke bamtshela ukuthi yebo babe bonke ke noma beyingxenye uma ngabe usenzo Meyiwa ebulawa, futhi ke umsolo wokuqala nowesibili bashilo noma bavumela ukuthi bona bakhokhelwe. Kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi ababili ke bakhokhelwe bese abanye abathathu bona bangakhokhelwe?
My lord, I've been alerted by my colleague Advocate Minister that he wants to say something.
I think what the witness is doing is very fallacious. It's fallacious. It's a fallacy. It's a fallacious what the witness is doing here. It's a fallacy because. Excuse me, my lord. I'm saying the witness, yes. The witness, what is doing here, it's a fallacy. It's very fallacious. Because the question is very specific. It says, is there evidence from the statement of the people that you took and that they are now in Zungu's statement? Is there evidence from Zungu's statements that indicates that there was a payment made? And then he goes all the way, he's just waddling whatever that he wants to do, and nobody says to him, no, but Mr. Kininda, can you please confirm, can you please confine yourself to the specific question? We hear about monetary transaction, not whether or not these other accused are also involved. He has been saying that throughout that, in terms of the statements, these other accused are involved. But the specific question that has been asked by Mr. Ngumalo to him, it's about monetary transaction. Is there any money that was paid? Now it goes all the way unnecessarily so, which is why I'm saying that that is very fallacious, Malo. And nobody says to him, but Mr. Kinid, can you please confine yourself to the question? Mr. Ngumalo is trying to say to him, Mr. Kininda, can you please speak about the money? And then it's just allowed to say, yeah, no, but even in Mr. Zungu's statement, Mr. Zungu says, yeah, no, these other accused are involved, what. But the gist of the question is money, my lord. I'm going to request the court, my lord, to restrain this witness in answering the way that he wants, but to concentrate on specific questions, my lord.
How can I restrain him? He's being asked a question and he responds.
Yeah, but what is the question, my lord, say? Is the question saying...
You can argue the way you want to argue, but I'm saying I can't stop a witness from expressing his opinion about a question. And he qualifies it by saying logic dictates that if they all acted together in killing
But that is
sense of-
unprocedural, my lord, because the question
No,
says
that question-
monetary
that question
transaction.
is not unprocedural. It's being asked. And then he decides to say, if they acted in concert and allegedly accused number 1 and 2 were paid 35,000 and what have you, according to him, logic dictates to him that accused 3 and 4 also should have been paid.
How
You can
much?
argue that it's fallacious, fine, there's no problem.
That
I
is
can stop-
fallacious,
I
man.
can
That
stop
is
this
the objection
witness
that
from-
I'm raising,
I
man.
can
It's
stop the
very
witness from
fallacious.
testifying. Are you with me, Mr. Numan?
No,
Oh, you're not, okay, fine.
no, Brigadier, my lord, I think he must be called into order because he's been doing this from the beginning. I'm asking a direct question. He goes somewhere else.
Yeah, any questions, Ed?
Intentional. Brigadier, is there a passage in the statement of Sifiso Zongo which says that my client, Mr. Mapisa, received money?
My Lord, I've answered this question, and you see the challenge, my Lord, because then it will be unfair to me when I'm asked a question, because I didn't introduce the part of Zungu, Sifiso Zungu, insofar as the money transaction. I only referred that the statements that I want to look at, and I've mentioned them. And then Advocate Ngumalu put it to me that he doesn't see any inference of the money.
Yes.
And then I asked, can I just finish, Advocate? And then I asked that I want to look at it so that we find each other. And I'm saying when I read this portion, because it's containing the statement and there is an assertion of common purpose between the accused, that if you look at this portion of what Zungu is saying, my Lord, you cannot ignore the fact that if there was a common purpose, others are being paid, logic dictates. This is what I've said, my Lord. But insofar as the transaction, I was very specific when the question was asked to me. Is there a monetary transfer or electronic transfer between Ms. Kelly Kumalo to the accused? I've answered it specifically. Now we're going down to a statement where I'm expected to comment. How do I ignore this material fact, my Lord, when I know it has a meaning to me? Then I'll be misleading this court. So to say now I must not speak my mind because there's a suggestion that is a fallacy, I think that's uncalled for, my Lord. A question was put to me and I'm looking at what is contained in the statement. My thinking and my thought is that we are here to assist the court, and I'm giving my testimony insofar as what I think with regard to the statement, with regard to the fact that the accused, it's alleged that they acted in common purpose. How could I not want to bring this, my Lord, to the attention of the court? Why must I withhold it? Because then I'm not doing justice.
Ngibuzwe umbuzo futhi mina ke othe ngicela ukubuka izitatimende ezithize waseke uadvocate uNqumalo eya kulesi ke sikagwabeni ethi ke akukho kushoyo la noma ke okhuluma ngemali ke bese ngithi ke mina ke ungabuki lokho noma ubheke lokho kuphela ke kodwa ke qhubeka ke ingakho ke sengikhulumile ke ukuthi uma ngabe kukho lokhu ke ethi esho ke yena ugwabeni ukuthi abasola babekhona ke lapho bakhuluma ke nokuthi ke futhi kwakuwumcabango wabo ke lona behlangene ukuthi ke kwenzeke kona ke lokho ingakho ke manje sengiphendule ngaleyo ndlela. Ngaphambilini ngibuziwe ukuthi bukhona yini ubufakazi obushoyo ukuthi ke kunemali eyafakwa ke esuka kuyena uMs Kelly Khumalo eyakubasola. Ngawuphendula ke leyo mbuzo ngathi cha, kodwa manje lana ngiphendula ke ngoba uadvocate uNqumalo eshilo ukuthi akukho okubhaliwe okushoyo la ukuthi ke umsola wesine unemali ayithola.
So I'm saying, my Lord, in essence, I can't be expected, in fairness and in the interest of justice, be expected to withhold evidence when I can then bring it to the attention of the court, because it relates to these accused and the monies. That's what I thought the question was about, my Lord.
Manje ke angikwazi ke ukuthi kulindele kumina ke ukuthi ke kube nobufakazi ke engibhodlayo ke ngingayitsheli ke lenkantolo ngoba ke kuphathelene nabo abasola laba kanye nemali futhi.
Why would Ms. Kelly Khumalo want the deceased to be killed? Have you investigated that?
My Lord, I think I dealt with this question as well, and I indicated that it was still under investigation, and I even said the inference that one can see it's in relation to the conversation between the two sisters. But that part, insofar as the motive is concerned, my Lord, I testified about this because I was asked, and I said it's still under investigation, the motive.
Kungani ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo ezofuna noma wayezofuna ukuthi ke umufike abulawe ngishilo ukuthi leyo ke ingxenye leyo ke yona ke isengaphansi kophenyo kodwa ngakhuluma futhi ke nangeinkulumo noma ke ama messages ayekhona ke phakathi kwakhe ke kanye nosisi wakhe ke uZandile Khumalo.
It's been 10 years, Brigadier, that the deceased passed on. You are still investigating.
I don't
2014,
understand.
you are in 2024.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Is
I mean, the motive, you are still investigating in 2024, incident of 2014. That is my question to you.
My Lord, I think even that is not put in its proper context. I think it was very clear when I testified here as to when I came on board, what did I focus on, when did Ms. Kelly Khumalo became a person of interest, and then the evidence that we've gathered. So to create an impression that from 2014 I've been seized with this docket and all along it's been Ms. Kelly Khumalo and we do not know what are the motives, that's not the assertion. I've indicated what happened, who dealt with this matter before me, what transpired in the matter, and then subsequent to us taking over, what did I do as the lead investigator leading to the matter being brought to court?
Ngishilo ke ukuthi ke mina ke icala leli ngale nini ke ukuthi ngiphenye ukuthi uma sengiphenya yini ke engayibheka noma ke engagela kuyona ke nokuthi ke ngaphambilini kwakuwobani ke ababephenya manje ukuthi ke noma inkulumo ithi ke manje kusukela ngo2014 nginalo ke ledokodo leli nokuthi kuqale nini futhi ukuthi ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo abe umuntu ke obukwayo noma ke obhekwayo.
I'm not trying, Brigadier, to repeat your evidence. If you can remind me, when did you took over the investigations of this case?
No, it was the 12th of November 2018, my Lord.
Okay, 12 November 2018 uma ngiqala ke noma ke ngithola ke idokodo leli ukuthi kube yimina oliphenyayo.
So it's been 6 years from 2018.
Yes, and we're in court because of that.
Yes.
Exactly what we did, my Lord. But insofar as the evidence that so an impression, my Lord, should not be given that there's no evidence that was gathered insofar as Ms. Kelly Khumalo to corroborate or in correlation of what was alleged in Exhibit HH and JJ. I've dealt with what we've collected and what we submitted. The motive is the part that I'm saying it has not been concluded because it's still under investigation insofar as the motive is concerned.
Engikhulumayo noma ngikushoyo ukuthi ke uphenyo lona ke lwenziwe ke ingakho ke sesenkantolo ke manje kodwa ke ingxenye engikhuluma ngayo ethi ke iyona ke engekaqedwa ke ukuthi inhloso noma kwakuyini injongo yokuthi ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo afuneke ukuthi ke umufi ashone noma abulawe.
So how many more years, Brigadier, is it going to take you to get this motive? How many more years?
I really don't think it's necessary to dwell on these aspects. We submit is an unfair question to the witness, man.
Is it determined by the years? This case, is it going to be decided
The motive,
by the years?
not that somebody is
Because I read the
is
other way,
overseas.
the other day I read that I actually dealt with that matter also. The course has it's 40 years.
40 years.
So 40 years since they were being allegedly killed by the security police
Yes.
in Krugersdorp when they were bombed. And the case has just started 2 weeks ago.
40 years.
40 years, yeah.
A person who is in South Africa
Yes,
to investigate.
40 years. So here it's how many years? 6 years.
6, my Lord.
Okay, we'll get there maybe. 42.
No, it can't be.
Anyway,
It can't be. It can't be, my lord. Another.
I don't know.
It
I'm
can't
just
be,
mentioning
really.
that.
If this is true, it can't be.
That's it.
Yes. I'm in this case now, and not the TRC case. Brigadier, your affidavit, Exhibit ZZ2 of the record, where you had to make an application for the bank records, you said the following at paragraph 5 of your affidavit. The 5 accused referred to under paragraph 3 above were duly arrested and indicted to appear in the High Court, Pretoria, where the trial proceeded and is currently partly held. It is suspected that their bank accounts might have been used. I therefore request the bank to check if the people with the following names, I'm not going to read the identity numbers: Moses Biya Fisokuhle Ntuli, Mthokoziseni Mapisa, Mthobisi Mncube, Bongani Ntanzi, has any bank accounts linkage with the bank. Paragraph 6. The information required is as follows: the link of any bank accounts, bank statements from 1st January 2014 till 30 June 2015, airtime purchases, documents used to open accounts, contract details, and locations of cardless withdrawals, e-wallets, money sent, or any form of bank transactions, and its location. The required information is believed to be in possession and under control of the First National Bank, head of legal forensics of the First National Bank, branch SA, close quotation. So, amongst others, Brigadier, the reason why we had to make an application in terms of Section 205 to obtain the bank records was to see if there is any transactions.
Indeed, yes, I agree, my lord.
Ngiyavuma-ke ukuthi-ke isicelo-ke salama statement noma i-statement ze-bank okubona-ke nokubheka ukuthi akhona yini ama-transactions noma-ke ukukhokhelwa kwey'mali okwenzeka.
The exhibit, that is the bank records of my client, Mr. Mapisa, was handed in as exhibit EE3 in bracket of the record. Is it correct, Brigadier, that you did receive these records in respect of my client, Mr. Mapisa?
Yes, from the banks I did, my lord.
Yebo, ama-records akhe-ke Mr. Mapisa ngawathola ebank.
From Capitec Bank.
Yes, I do have a recollection of
Yes,
that.
thank
Yebo, ngiyakhumbula-ke eCapitec.
Were there any suspicious transaction, Brigadier, that when analyzing the bank records of my client, Mr. Mapisa, that you came across in terms of this contract, the contract killing of the deceased?
No, my lord, I think I already dealt with this question, that there was no electronic transfer or monies that came from the person who was identified as the trigger point, this Ms. Kelly Kumalo, to accused 4, but equally so to all other accused, not only him. There is no evidence, and I've said this, my lord, electronically, where you will see the transfer of money coming from Ms. Kelly Kumalo to accused 4, but equally so to all the accused. You will not find such, my lord, in the bank statement, because I requested the same information with respect to all the other accused as well, and there was none found.
Bese ngikhulumile-ke ngaloko ukuthi-ke abukho-ke ubufakazi obutshengisayo ukuthi khona-ke imali eyatransferwa-ke kuya kuyona-ke i-akhawunti ka-Ms. Kelly Khumalo kuya ku-accused 4, kodwa kungasiyena kuphela-ke kodwa nabo bonke abanye abasolwa, ngoba-ke ngenza-ke iy'celo ley'tatimende zabo zebhenki bonke abasolwa.
Just a minute, madam. There's one document that I'm looking for. It's just that there's lots of Thank you, my lord. I've got the document. I'm just going through the document, my lord. There's a portion that, thank you, that I want to go through. Brigadier, do you have Exhibit 01?
No, not in front of me. What is that, my lord? I don't have exhibits.
What is that?
Yeah, what I'm saying, what is Exhibit 01 in terms of the indexing?
Yes, it is an affidavit of Colonel Stein. You don't have it. May I request my colleague to provide you, Brigadier, with Exhibit 01?
Okay.
Thank you. Six to 11.
Is it the communication between Zambia
Yes,
and
yes,
Kenya?
Brigadier. Yes.
Okay, I've got it in the docket.
This is the SMS communication.
Yes, no,
Yes.
I've got it in the docket.
Mention something, Brigadier, about the SMS communication between Zandile Khumalo and Kelly Khumalo. You remember that?
Yes, I did, my lord.
What did you say about such communication?
No, I just said there was a communication between Ms. Zandi Khumalo, Ms. Kelly Khumalo, and Zandi and the sisters. I was asking, I responded to that as to the question as to what was the motive.
Yes.
And I said the motive is still under investigation, except what you will see in the communication between the two sisters. And I left it at that, my lord.
Ngibuziwe ke lana mayelana ke nenjongo ukuthi kwakuyini ke injongo ukuthi ke Ms. Kelly Khumalo afuneke ukuthi ke umufi ashone noma abulaweke. Ngishilo ukuthi lokho kusaphenywa kodwa ke ngakhuluma ke ngalokuxhumana lokhu ke noma la communication ekhona phakathi kwakhe ke Kelly Khumalo kanye noZandi Khumalo lama SMS.
Did you find anything wrong with in this communication between the two sisters?
My lord, the communication speaks for themselves, and I was asked to read them here in court. And all I said in my response, I said, except what you will find, because it is clear there's anger. I read them on court and what is said. I said, except what you see there, the motive is still under investigation. It was answered in that context. I think these SMSs, my lord, they speak for themselves, and I read them here in court, my lord, into the record.
Ngacela ukuthi ngikufunde ngakufunda ke ngabe ngikushiya lapho ngoba ngibuzwe ngokuthi ke inhloso ingaba yini ke ngakufunda ke ngoba ke cacile ke ngoba uma ufunda ke khona lapho ukuthi ke into ikhona ke intukuthelo ekhona ke uma uwafunda ke kodwa ngikufundile ngabe sengikushiya nje lapho.
Was there a communication between Miss Kelly Khumalo and any of the accused before court?
My lord, the closest communication that was explained to me is the link in terms of communication, because that I was told it's a communication. That is in relation to accused number 5 and Ms. Kelly Khumalo with regard to the calls of the 2nd of August as well as the one of the 15th of October 2014. So insofar as that report that I got from Kenneth Stein, there was a communication because it was some form of a call using data according to the report I received.
Ngokombiko ngawuthola kuyena ke uKenneth Stein yebo kwakukhona ke uxhumano kwakukhona phakathi kwakhe ke yena umsolo wesihlanu kanye no Ms. Kelly Khumalo kwakungu August kanye futhi naye ke uOctober ku 2015.
So yes, there was a communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and accused 5 to be specific.
Yebo kwakukhona ukuxhumana kwakukhona ke phakathi kwakhe uMs. Kelly Khumalo naye umsolo wesihlanu.
A call using data, so it was not a normal call.
It is a form of a call, my lord. It's just another system of making
Internet.
Yes, data, internet. But my understanding, it was a call. It's not a link. It was a call, and that's why I said it's. First one was on the 16th. The 2nd of August. The other one was the 15th of October.
Ukuxhumana ke lokho noma ke indlela yakhe abayisho ngayo ukuthi ke akusetshenziswa ke i-data kuyona ke kwakungo-August i-2 zika-August kanye futhi ne-15 October.
Yes.
So, the internet call, Steyn tells you, Brigadier, I was able to find internet communication between accused number 5 and Miss Kelly Kuman.
My Lord, I think Colonel Steyn disposed of an affidavit and he testified in this court. What I'm saying, my Lord, insofar as communication, the report I got from him, he said there was a call made in terms of a call specifically, and he gave me the specific date, and he said this call was used utilizing the data, not the normal, open line call. That's the essence of the briefing that I got from him, my Lord.
Colonel Steyn istatement wasenza wethula ubufakazi la inkantolo kodwa ke uma esengitshela ke ukuthi kwenzekani ke wangitshela ke ukuthi ke kwakunokuxhumana okwakukhona ngasi ukuthi ke kwakusetshenziswa ke noma ke i-call ejwayelekile ke kodwa kwakuyisetshenziswa i-data.
At page 23 of Exhibit 01, the affidavit of Colonel Steyn, it says the number Kelly Kumalo 2782704358 had contact with the number 2773-305-9202 on 2 different occasions. Calls made before and after the incident, 2 August 2014 and 15 October 2014. Do you see that?
I do see that, my Lord.
Ngiyakubona ke lokho kubhalwe lana ukuthi inumber Kelly Khumalo 2782704458 yaxhumana nenumber 277330599202 amahlandla amabili ahlukile ama calls enziwa ngaphambi nasemuva kwesigameko kwasekubhala 2 August 2014 ne-15 October 2014.
On the 2nd of August 2014 at 2200 hours 40 minutes 47 seconds, the number 2782704458 received a call from the number 277330599202. The call duration is 110 minutes. Cell name 3G Kimberly MWCEN. Do you see that, Brigadier?
Yes, my Lord.
Ngiyabona ke lana number 2782704458 yaxhumana ke noma ke yathola ke ucingo ku number 277330599202 nge-2 zika August 2014 isikhathi 22:40:47 ngaphansi ko cell name kubhalwe u3G Kimberly MWCEN. Ngiyakubona lokho isikhathi ke ithi 110.
On the 15th of October 2014 at 1700 hours 33 minutes 57 seconds, the number 2782704458 received a call from the number 277330599202. The call duration is 98 seconds. The cell name is 3G Ivandale Farm LIM2. Do you see that, Brigadier?
I do see that, my Lord.
Ngiyabona ukuthi nge-15 October 2014 isikhathi 17:33:57 number 2782704458 yathola ke ucingo olubuya ku 277330599202 futhi ke isikhathi ama-seconds of 98 i-cell name T2G Ivandale Farm.
Brigadier, were there any records that you received from Colonel Steyn? The cell phone records of the number ending 358, the number belonging to Miss Kelly Kuman.
I'm not sure what cell phone records, my Lord. My understanding, cell phone data, you receive it from the networks. You 205 them. So perhaps I don't understand the question, because Colonel Steyn will not be in a position to generate cell phone data. It comes from the different networks, my lord.
Mhlampe ke umbuzo angibuzwa kodwa ngeke ngithole ke ama records abuya kena ke uStain ngoba ke lemininingwane oyithola ke kwinkampani ke lezi noma ke ama networks ibona ke abakunikeza lokho ungasiyena uKenneth Stein.
Colonel Stein testified before this court, and he told this court that he already had the Section 205 records. They were in the central database of the police. You don't know anything about that information?
No. I am aware, my lord, and I think I dealt with this part that when we took over the investigation, I handed the electronic disk to Colonel Stein, but then I asked him to go and authenticate them, my lord, by going to different houses, so to say, to ensure that what he's working on is authentic and is accurate. That's the first part. But in addition to the data in the form of Section 205, my lord, he worked on the downloaded information of the phones that were taken from all the people who were inside the house by the first investigation team. Lieutenant Colonel Netling was actually the person who took them. Subsequently, they were given to Captain Mushwana to do the actual download. And my understanding of the report I received is that it is out of those downloads of the phone of Miss Kelly Kumalo that these linkages was then found later by Colonel Stein, but the downloading took place back in 2014. Because these accused were not on site, the number was there, but it was not linked to anyone. Fast-tracking to the presence of Colonel Stein, then he was able to establish the link. That is how I understand the link was done. Not that they were now in new information of data that Colonel Stein went to request and did the linkages. No, it was based on the data that was sitting on the police system, the downloaded information of the cell phones that were downloaded, including the one of Miss Kelly Kumalo.
Nakwenzeka nanje babengishilo ke kwasekuqaleni ukuthi uma ngaba sesithatha ke noma sekuyithina ke abaqala ke ukuphenya ke ukuthi ke khona ke imininingwane noma ke information engayinikeza ke na ke kuyidisk uyena ke uKenneth Stein yena ke kwakufanele ukuthi ahambe ke aye manje kulama networks ke ayoqinisekisa ke ukuthi ke le information noma lokho anakho ke kuyikona yini kwaseke kamva ke kunama downloads noma ke omakhala ekhukhwini babethathiwe ngaphambilini babantu ababesendlini kwakuyena uLieutenant Colonel Netling yase udluliselwa ke kuMushwana. Manje uma lokhu ke kwakwenziwe kwangaphambilini ama downloads lawo le number futhi nayo ke yayikhona ukuthi nje kuphela ke abasola babengekaziyo noma bengekatholwa ke ngaleso sikhathi ngokufika kwakhe ke uStein wase ehlanganisa ke manje ngoba abasola sebekhona ke leya number ibikhona ngaphambilini kuona ama downloads ayeziwe kwango 2014.
Did you see that data?
My lord, it's contained in a statement he attached. There was a time that
I mean you, Brigadier. Did you go through that data?
Yeah, my lord, perhaps if we can give each other a chance when we speak, then you won't be lost in my explanation. But if I speak and then
No,
I
I'm
get
not
interjected, see, it's happening again, my lord. Can I just ask the indulgence from Advocate Ngomalo to give me a space when he asks a question and not interject, because then I'm not so sure where we're going to go if we're going like that.
Brigadier, if you perceive me as being lost, it's because you gave a long answer to the
Because
question.
you ask a question and I need to explain, because then it seems then when I give an answer it's not understood. So I'm trying my best, my lord, to give an explanation so that the answer is understood. That is why now I may be seen to be long, because if we find each other where I think there's no confusion, my answers are very straightforward. I will say yes, I will say no. But where I see that an impression, a wrong impression will be given, I have to explain, my lord, because otherwise I'll be aiding in ensuring that a wrong concept is given to the court, and that's not what I'm here for, my lord.
So the data, the question, Brigadier, is as follows. The data that was already in the system, did you go through that data? That is the question. Yes
my
or
lord.
no?
No, my lord, I'm not a cell phone analyst. That's why Colonel Stein is an analyst. So what will be the significance of going? I'm not qualified to do that. I can only refer to what he told me and the statements that then he gave after doing his work. He is the person who can explain further on those things. He's an expert, my lord.
Ingaba ke manje imininingwane noma ke idata ke leyo ingaba wayibheka yini ke cha angisiyena ke mina ke umcwaningi uyena ke uKenneth Stein uyena umuntu ongayichaza kangcono.
The internet communication between Miss Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5. Did you see it?
But my lord, I just explained, I'm not an expert. I'm relying on an expert who says to me, there was a communication, this is how the communication was done, because that was important insofar as the investigation is concerned. Then subsequent to that, an affidavit is given. What will I say, my lord? And that goes the same with the DNA expert. You meet the DNA expert, then he says, I've done my analysis. These are the common regions that I find, or the markers. I can't make a conclusive finding because of 1, 2, 3. What will be the point of me, my lord, sitting behind the database and see how he does it? I don't have the expertise. Fast tracking also to the ballistic expert. Same, a report is given to me. I don't go and analyze and sit with them and see the data because I don't have the expertise. I get a report, I get a statement of their analysis and finding. That's how it works.
Kusebenza ngalendlela ke ukuthi ke mina ke ngizobuka leyo information ngizokwenzani ke ngoba angisiyena ke umcwaningi ngiyatshela uyena ke ukuthi ke uthole lokho kuyafana ke nakulona ke wama DNA ukuthi ngihlale lapho ngibuke lapho ngizothi ngibukani ngoba ke angisiyona ke umsebenzi engiwenzayo kanye futhi ke noma ballistics noma phecelezi ke noma ke ibhamu naye ke uyangitshela ukuthi utholeni kodwa hayi ukuthi mina ngizohlala ngibheke leyo nto leyo.
But it will be to acquaint yourself with the information, Brigadier, as a lead investigator.
No, my lord, I'm not an expert. The fact that I'm a lead investigator does not make me a cell phone expert. What you rely on is the report that you get from the expert, the briefing that he gives you, and the affidavit. Then you can work on what is before you. But now to try and understand the actual data, I don't have the expertise. On what basis will I be able to interpret the data that you worked on, my lord? I don't have the expertise. It's simply a no-go area, and I think it will be suicidal because what do I say? I don't have the training for that, my lord.
Mina ke ukuthi nje ngithola ke umbiko noma uyangitshela ukuthi yena ke utholeni phecelezi ke i-briefing bese ngithola ke nombiko wakhe ukuthi ngiyohlala lapho ngibukeke into ke engingaqeqeshwanga kuyona ke angeke ke ngikwenze lokho.
The extract, Brigadier, of Exhibit J1, which is now the data from Vodacom. On the 2nd of August 2014, at 2200 hours 40 minutes 23, on the 2nd of August 2014, at 2200 hours 40 minutes 47 seconds, the number 278270444358 received a call from the number 27834571330. The duration of the call was 110 seconds. The cell name was 3G Kimberley MWCEN.
My lord, I don't know how to assist. Like I said, I'm not a cell phone expert. I think Colonel Stein or Colonel Host, those are experts. They can then be best able to assist with this.
Ngishilo ukuthi angisiyena ke uchwepheshe noma ungoti ke kuloko angazi ukuthi ngalekelela kanjani. uColonel Stein naye ke uColonel Host ibona ke bangasiza kuloko.
But there is a glaring contradiction, Brigadier, that you cannot run away from. I've read to you the affidavit of Colonel Stein. The contrast arises to the numbers that are making a call to the number which belongs to Ms. Kelly Kuman. On the data from Vodacom, the number 2783457139 is making a call to the number of Ms. Kelly Kumalo ending 358. And the person who is making a call to Ms. Kelly Kumalo on the 2nd of August 2014 at 2200 hours 40 minutes 47 seconds is Mr. Atamo Foucault, not the number ending 202.
Yes, God, please, my lord. I think it would be unfair to put this question to the witness when all these issues have been properly explained by Colonel Stein as well as Ms. Fathillingham. Colonel Stein explained that he worked on the downloads and that Vodacom doesn't have access to the downloads. You have to have the physical instruments, the downloads, to be able to establish this calls. We submit, my lord, that it will therefore be unfair to put this proposition to the witness that there was a contradiction when these concepts, we even had to recall Colonel Steyn precisely to come and explain these concepts.
On that aspect, Brigadier, I'll argue that there was no communication between accused number 5 and Ms. Kelly Khumalo. It is a trumped-up case against the accused.
My lord, you see, one of the things with data is forensic and it's there. So I do not understand if it's contested because it's there. It's not that it's deleted. It's forensic evidence. It is there on the database. If it's disputed, it's something that is there that can be tested. So I'm not so sure how is it trumped up because it's there. It's in the. That's why Colonel Steyn 6 years later he was able to go back, get it, analyze and link the two calls. So how is that trumped up when it was generated? Colonel Steyn was not even in existence insofar as this matter is concerned. He had to work his way back and found the data there. So how could that be trumped up? Because then there must be a forensic expert who says it is trumped up, because from what I got in terms of the statements that I saw, my lord, that's not the indication I saw, my lord.
Lana ke ubufakazi obukanjena ke noma ubufakazi obuphathelene nawo ke ama cell phones ubufakazi obukhona ke lapha yana ingakho ke nayo Colonel Steyn akwazileke ukuthi ke emuva kweminyaka ke eyu6 abuyele emuva ke ayokuthola lokho wayengekho eqaleni uma le mininingwane noma ke le information itholakala ikangako ke noma isona ke izathu leso esenze ukuthi ke aphinde akuthole ngoba ubufakazi obukhona obulapha.
And during the course of the investigation, my lord, the downloader, Captain Mushwana specifically, confirmed, because the statements were there, he confirmed what he has done insofar as downloading, insofar as those numbers are concerned. And you can see the chain of evidence of from the time the phones are taken by Colonel Netling, booked in the SAP-13 in Phosphorus, booked out, given to this expert who's doing then the downloading because of his expertise. The chain is there, so how could that be trumped up? Because there's evidence of how these downloads came to existence.
Ngoba ke nobufakazi bukhona ke ukuthi ke kwaqala kuphi ke lokho ama cell phone ethathwa uyena uLieutenant Colonel Netling bese dluliselwa ke kuyena ke uMushwana ufakazi ke bukhona ama statement ezikhona ke, so uyakubona ke ukuthi kuhambe kanjani ukuthi kuze kube khona lokho.
Just to buttress our initial objection, we refer to the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Steyn. The evidence appears on the 12th of August 2024, page 44. It's from line 17 up to line 20. Colonel Steyn says this one must differ from the downloads, because on your download you have got the 2 hours plus 2 hours, then the cell phone data from Vodacom or any service provider is real time.
Brigadier, it is a trumped-up case against the accused in the sense that on 2 dates, the 2nd of August 2014.
I can't hear you. You're speaking to
It is.
There's air conditioning here making noise. If I can speak this loud, I'm sure you can also speak loud.
Yes, and the fact that I've been standing since morning. And the fact that I've been standing since morning.
Yeah, well, I've been
Yeah,
standing since...
I'll raise my voice, my lord. I'll raise it. It's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Sorry,
I'll raise it.
is the machine recording? Even if you speak slow. So there's no problem about the recording?
There has been a problem, my lord, with the recording ever since. At this time, I request that we adjourn until tomorrow. It is 3:30 in the afternoon.
Well, just before we adjourn, the court asked earlier on about just before the long adjournment, about the evidence regarding the removal of the cell phone of Ms. Kelly Khumalo. It appears on page 56 of the recording of the 18th of July 2023. from line 19 up to about line 25. Ms. Kumalo says just after she took, in fact it starts from line 11, Ms. Kumalo. Earlier on, Kelly's phone was there on the stand charging, and then my mother took it out from the charger. Then at like 19, just after she took the phone out, the short one with the dreadlocks hit her with an elbow in her stomach, and then the phone fell out of her hand and fell out onto the couch. Then the gentleman with the dreadlocks took the phone and turned around. Then on the 19th of July 2023, page 50, from line 13, she says, no, the phone was never recovered, but there was someone who just kept on asking for money. That person went as far as even asking that money from me, returning to the cabin. And she says it was a Samsung S4.
The problem that I'm having,
Hello?
the problem that I'm having, this piece of evidence is given by a person who's not even the owner of the cell phone in question. The owner of the cell phone in question is still alive. It's part of the indictment, part of the country of the indictment. We don't have any evidence from this person.
Which person?
Miss
Which person are you
Kelly
talking
Kumar.
of?
Miss Kelly Kumar. She's the owner of the cell phone. This evidence is given by
Yeah, you
somebody
can subpoena
else.
her. You're on the subpoena her. You're at liberty to do that.
Yes,
You can subpoena her. She's still alive, as you say.
yes,
Fine.
it's fine.
Yeah, but the evidence of Zandile, I recall it. This is how she testified about.
Yes, but I
Yes.
don't have any problems with the evidence of Zani.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
so we are journeying.
Yes, thank you.
You're available still tomorrow.
Yes, I am, my lord.
Okay, 10 o'clock.